asking, where did the idea come from to create an Iron Maiden tribute band?
There was a co-ed Iron Maiden tribute band that existed, and they were in the process of turning it all female. So I guess we were the my band at the time was looking for female bass player, and the bass player in that band was a female. So we thought, well, let's go snag that bass player, because any girl who can play Steve Harris on bass has got to be pretty good. So we went down there to recruit this bass player, and at the end of the day, they ended up recruiting my guitar player and myself. So that's how I got joined into the band. And 13 shows later, we got rid of the original bass player and got Wanda.
Okay. And it's really cool to see girls playing. I play in a band too, and I feel really nice when I see something like that. And what is your musical background? Like, what kind of bands inspired you to start playing and playing metal? Actually,
what started you playing? What?
Kiss. Kiss. Oh, that's my favorite one too.
Yeah, I'm more of like these days the classic, more old school metal. I've brought Van Halen, you know, Aerosmith, Zeppelin, Judas Priest, that kind of stuff.
Okay, cool.
Well, Iron Maiden was definitely one of I mean, as a kid, I would, this now goes way before your time, I'm sure, but we used to have things called boom boxes and tape cassettes, you know, and I would go into the bathroom and put my tape cassette into my, essentially a radio, and I'd take my curling iron, and I would just get my poses down and be lip-syncing and rocking out. So I was doing that. I was listening to Venom, too. I noticed the shirt. I was into a lot of like thrash metal and speed metal at the time, and then, at the same time I was listening to Duran Duran too. So my
yes, I'm a big
taste,
pop
like,
fan. I love pop music.
Yeah,
I love it.
I think it's good to listen to different things. It's good for a musician, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what about you?
Metallica was the reason I started. So I went through that whole metal thrash scene, like Artillery, Trouble. Well, I mean, Trouble wasn't really thrash, but then I did the whole 80s glam thing, and like Paul Gilbert, Mr. Big. But then it's like when I came back to the thrash side, kind of went deeper into more of the heavier stuff like King Diamond, Merciful Fate, and stuff. So Testament, Overkill, just more Saint, all just. And then somehow I wound back at Iron Maiden. But no, I'm still a diehard thrash metal girl. One day they'll let me wear my patch vest again. So, you know. Yeah, that's me. And I like Christmas music.
I do too.
That's awesome.
Okay, and you, what about you?
Well, I actually started on orchestral music when I was 9, and metal came for me a little bit later. And so for me it was a natural progression. I've always been drawn to music with interesting and challenging bass lines, so orchestral music when I was 9, and then 11 I started doing jazz too, and then someone had an Iron Maiden cassette or tape when I was in junior high, and they said, listen to this. So I got into Iron Maiden and Rush and Yes, and yeah, that's how it started.
Yeah,
I've always been into it.
cool. And I think that most of girls who play in a band, they don't really care about, oh, let's get up together like a all-female band because it's a good marketing and stuff. Do you agree with this position some people have, that an all-female girl, it's a good marketing? And what kind of bad and good comments did you hear about this decision of making a band all-female one?
I think that goes both ways,
Yeah,
actually.
it's a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, that's why I asked it. Like, what bad things did you hear about this, and what good things did you hear about this?
Well, I definitely think that it's a marketing thing. I mean, that shouldn't be the only reason that you get together. I mean, the first and foremost reason to get together in a band with certain people is because you connect and click musically and as people, period. But with doing a tribute band, you already have the music there, so really you just have to be able to play it and like the people you're playing it with. And if it wasn't all female, then it would be kind of weird to be called the Iron Maidens. So I guess it works as a marketing type thing in this case very well.
It's a novelty.
Yeah, because
it makes it be different. Like,
yes.
There's a lot of male
Yeah,
Iron Maiden tribute
with this
down
great
there.
decision of making an Iron Maiden tribute, comes a great responsibility together. Like not only to because it's a great band, like people worldwide like it, and because it's kind of hard to play. Like for example, I'm a bass player, and really I have to really work on the songs when I want to take the cover song. So what do you think about this? Do you feel this great responsibility of making this Iron Maiden tribute or no?
You have to be loyal to the music, because any Maiden fan, you know, if you fuck up, I can say that, right?
Sure.
If you fuck up the music, then you're going to hear about it. And I mean, it's timeless classic music, and you have to represent it well.
And like the whole thing with it being a novelty that we're all female, I mean, that only gets you so far. That may get someone to come out and listen to you one time, but if you can't do justice to the music, if you can't play it the way it's supposed to be played, then you're just going to be laughing stock.
They'll throw eggs at you.
Yeah.
I know for me, like, especially when we add new songs, I won't be able to sleep at night unless every note is exact. I'm such a perfectionist that I think it annoys people sometimes. But
I think it's awesome.
But it's a good thing for us to be that way, because being an all-female thing and the material that we're covering, anytime someone new comes out to see us, usually it's either they're interested, or they come out to see us fail and be horrible.
Yeah.
So we always have that against us, so it's good to be on top of it and prove that, yes, we can do it note for note, and just being female, that we can rock out.
And when you started playing and get together for this project, did you have this idea on your mind of having like a band that would tour around the world with, I don't know, around the world like it's happening now? Did you have this idea that it would become so big?
Never.
Really?
Never, ever. It was just for fun. It was something to do. It was just for fun. And at the very first rehearsals, there's, you know, this window on the door, and we just see these people doing this, looking in. And there was this big crowd of people in the hallway just to listen to us rehearsing. And it was just the first couple, and so they weren't that good. But, they just keep showing up to the shows, and we're very grateful for that. But never, ever did we think that we'd
It was a
go
surprise.
across around the world.
After the first few shows, like everyone started calling. We're like, well, we're not the real Iron Maiden. We're just the female. We're the female.
We don't write
tribute
this
Iron
stuff.
Maiden. It's just, you know, are you sure you're calling the right? Because you're in New York and we're in California. Oh yeah, no, we want the girl band. You do?